Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights, doing a box break. I've got 3 boxes I'm looking at from Upper Deck. They provided me, and I've already opened them up, so I'm going to describe my experience and give you hopefully some other sports card insights. First, thank sponsors, especially Upper Deck, but also Topps, Panini, Heritage Auctions, Huggins Scott Auctions, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, ComC.com, and Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. The first product that I will talk about is the 23-24 SPX Hockey. 1 pack per box, 5 premium cards per pack. I actually got 6, so I don't know that would be the usual, but it's always good to get what you're expecting or even more, because every card was different, but had a little bit of that Chronicles feel that Panini does of different designs. And I was trying to figure out some of them I like better than others. I got the one autograph card, you got die cut, got different exotic treatments. I liked it. I don't know that's exactly my type of product, even though I think I got reasonably good value. I'm not sure I got $170 worth of cards, but I got good cards there. But then I looking at the design of the cards, I liked each one of them. I couldn't get into it because there was just one of each kind. And so I don't know which ones are more rare or scarce, but I could just go by the design. So I had another way of thinking about whether a card is good or not. When I look at the design, I think it's confounded by the fact that I'm looking at a design that looks pretty cool, but it's a player I've either never heard of or is a defensive defenseman or something like that without very much following. But if I were to think in this SPX box, if each one of these 6 cards, not 5 that I got, thank you Upper Deck, had been, instead of a guy that does not have a following, if it had been a card of a GOAT, if it had been Connor Bedard or Connor McDavid or Sidney Crosby or Ovechkin, if it had been somebody really good, would I love it then? And if that's the case, then that's a pretty cool card. We shouldn't be ashamed of a great looking card that has a player that is not in high demand. In fact, that's what I do on ComC, and I've been interviewing people that collect that way. They just think the really expensive guys, they just are stratospheric pricing, but an equivalent scarcity of a player that's not as highly collected can seem like a bargain. And if it's one of your favorite players, even though they're not a perennial all-star or MVP candidate, well done, Upper Deck. Again, thanks for the bonus card. I was pleased. Okay, the second one, I'm going in order of price. I got a box of 23-24. Again, we're still dealing with the end of last year, probably based on the royalty arrangements and the brand releases and all that stuff. So there's reasons why you would do late in the year as opposed to early in the year, and the player configuration and all that stuff. So this is a 23-24 product. SPX had been released early in August. This Credentials, the 23-24 Upper Deck Credentials Hockey, was released a couple weeks after, mid-late August. $140 a box from what I could see out there. It says collect hands, hard-signed debut ticket access autograph rookie cards. So hard-signed, hand-signed probably means the same thing. It means not a sticker. I hope it means not a sticker. Let me see. Oops. I got to tell you, I just looked back and I thought, hard sign does mean hand sign, but it doesn't mean not on a sticker, because the autograph I got was on a sticker. And that's just the way it goes. I'm not as frustrated about that, and not just because I didn't pay, but I like autographs. I like autographs more than game used, and I'd rather have a sticker autograph than a game used card. I might rather have a scarce parallel than a sticker autograph of something with a really cool design. But anyway, Credentials, again, not a super premium product, but a good product. Some cards I liked. The journey I've been on lately of thinking about, if I were to not necessarily buy the whole box, but if I were going to enter into an agreement with another buddy to say, hey, let's buy a box together and let's split the contents, but one of us can have first pick at one card and the other guy can have all the rest, let's say. And so would I be willing to pay, if the SPX is a $170 product and you could get a fabulous card, would I pay $150 to take the best card, which would mean $20 for all the rest? I'd rather pay $20 and get the 4 or 5 next best cards, knowing if there's something hit really big with a, whatever they call it, the black lustrous pride of a nation rookie auto patch cards. So I would rather have the residual for $20 than the best card for $150. 30, 40, 50. I'm not sure where I would draw the line, but somewhere in there. The Credentials, a similar kind of thing, except that I didn't get the sense that I would pay out of $140, would I pay $40 for the residual, or would I pay $100 for the very best card? I might be willing to pay the $40 for that. In some products, I think you'd be willing to pay 90%. If there's a Wemby autograph in there or something like that, you literally would not want to lose the chance to get the lottery card. Of course, a lottery, this is like a lottery, except in the lottery, and many of the states have done some smaller winners with a huge jackpot. But in the original lotteries, there was no residual value. In other words, no matter how many tickets you bought, there was going to be one winner, and that one winner got all the stuff, and you got nothing except a lottery ticket to throw in the trash. So this is not a lottery. There are smaller winners. What I'm getting at is that of the credentials, if my friend said, you know what, I'll pay you $100 for the best card out of that credentials box, then I'd in effect be getting the others for $40, and I might take that deal. But that means the lottery aspect, the lottery value of the best card is most of the value of that box, if it's $100. And then the $40 is what's left over, and that's what the residual value is, what a lot of people want. If you don't get a great, wonderful, big hit, then you're probably in that residual value anyway. If your best card is an autograph of somebody who's not very good, there is residual value, but that's really what you wind up with if you don't win that lottery with a big ticket. Okay, so another product that's very different is the 24-25 MVP Upper Deck Hockey. I've gotten the MVPs for a number of years, so I'm familiar with the design, familiar with the configuration, more cards in the box, 8 cards per pack, 20 packs per box, only $60. That just looks like a bargain compared to some of these other flagship or kind of base sets. You're getting not necessarily a complete set, but you're getting a lot of cards, and you have a chance to get some good stuff, but even the stuff like I said, the residual stuff, the very best card, which in my case was an autograph of a guy I hadn't heard of. That was okay. But it's 24-25. That means no chance at Connor Bedard rookie, because it'd be his second year. But this Stankoven guy coming up with the stars, that's cool. So that means I couldn't, if I was doing a break, stars would be expensive. The MVP product was released in very late August, only been out a little while. With 24-25, in the old days, I would have to do my research and figure out who are the good rookies for this crop. And the second-year players, those are still good cards, but it's usually all about the rookies. I noticed that Leon Draisaitl is on the box, and that was before he signed his big contract, his big extension, which bodes well for Edmonton. They put an end to the Stars' dreams last year, and they've got some great players. When Leon Draisaitl is your second best player, that's a good thing. Anyway, he's on the box. And the other thing I noticed, because I was opening up these, when you're opening up a 1-pack in the SPX, or you're opening up 8 packs in the credentials, but 20 packs, the way the packs are done is different. There's a sawtooth crimping in the MVP that makes it really easy to tear open the pack, whereas the SPX, as I recall, was like a straight across. You couldn't really rip it as much as you had to pull it or get out my trusty scissors and cut not the cards, but the top of the wrapper. So the MVP was way better in that respect. So let's see, what would I pick? I guess I really enjoyed the SPX. I like the idea, like with Chronicles, where you've got different designs and not that many players. There are no wasted cards, and they were all good cards. I liked the credentials, but it wasn't as many cards. I liked the MVP because it was a lot of cards, but I really didn't get any great cards in there. I forgot to tell you, mentioning what would you do, I have historical reference. It has nothing to do with hockey, but this is an audio podcast, so I'm trying to give references. I was in a situation many decades ago, actually, in the 70s, where I did a buying trip with a guy, and he's still alive, but I haven't seen him for a while, but we did some buying trips together to pool our resources, and you needed to have coverage with 2 guys when some of these hotel rooms are a little sketchy. Anyway, he was a good guy, and a set of 1952 tops walked in, and the guy said what price he wanted. He said, I'm not going to take less than this. Take it or leave it. And I'm not even going to say what the price was, but it was a very low price for what now, but it wasn't robbery. He said, I know what these are worth. I want X dollars. And I looked at my buddy and I said, done. Okay. In fact, we didn't want to say yes too quickly, or the guy would say, wait, why'd you jump on it? But it was a really good deal for us. I'm not going to disclose the terms, but here's the interesting part. My buddy said, just like I'm saying now, he said, what would you think about me taking the mantle and you taking the other 96 high numbers? Because it was a complete set. And I said, I don't think I'd feel very good about that. He said, really, I just want the one card and you can have all the others. And so then we were dickering around. We had some other collections we bought. And finally it worked out that I got the other 96, which is Robinson and Campanella and Eddie Matthews and all that stuff. And they weren't perfect condition, but he got the mantle. I got the others. So that's me giving an experience where this difficult choice came to life for me. Now, you don't have that choice with MVP because there's no great card in there. With these other credentials or SPX, you could have some expensive card. And like I said, that was not negotiating in advance. That was the cards are on the table. I should have said, I'll take the odd numbers and you can have the even numbers. Those of you who are savvy know that Eddie Matthews is an odd number, Mickey Mantle's an odd number. That would be not fair. So we divvied it up. I accommodated my buddy. And I don't know if that's a great story or a horrible story. So that makes me think when I see a box, how would you break it in half, or how would you accommodate two people that both wanted the best card? Thanks, Upper Deck. I love this hobby, and I love opening packs. Again, the 24-25 coming out means time for me to dig into the new crop of hockey guys. So hope you're doing that too, because again, it's not luck. You need to know who the good players are when you come across them. Thanks, everybody. Be back again in a couple days.
The man in the house who called